David, you look like a melted marshmallow. Are you okay?
Alice, I'm completely wiped out. I spent the whole weekend with that IKEA desk. One screw left over at the end. Had to take the whole thing apart and start again. That process really did me in.
Oh, I know that feeling. Last month at the marathon, the final kilometer, I felt like someone was pulling all the energy out of my body with a straw. I was totally wiped out.
Wait, we both just used two different expressions. Wiped out, did me in. They both mean exhausted, but the feeling is different, right?
Different direction, actually, and that direction is the whole lesson today.
Hey everyone, welcome back to SomC Studio. I'm David.
And I'm Alice. Today we're talking about one of the most useful things in English, how to say you're really, truly, completely exhausted, not just tired. 6 expressions, 1 picture.
Let's go.
Okay, before any expressions, let's build the picture.
The one image that ties everything together.
Imagine a pit, a deep pit in the ground. Mossy walls, soft clover at the bottom, it's almost cozy. But here's the thing, once you're in, you cannot climb out by yourself.
The pit of exhaustion.
The pit of exhaustion. Now, you're a person walking around in the world, functioning, normal life. Something hits you from outside. A brutal workout, a long day, an IKEA disaster.
Specific example?
And it pushes you toward the edge of that pit. And depending on how hard it hits, you might just stumble. Or you might fall all the way in.
So the different expressions are how close to the pit you are and whether you've actually fallen in.
Exactly. And now here's the key, the word in, I-N. In English, in isn't just a location. It carries a feeling of crossing a boundary, going somewhere you can't easily come back from.
Like once you're in the pit, you're in the pit.
Right. Think about it. The sun went in, disappeared behind clouds, gone. He caved in, collapsed inward, finished. Did me in, pushed me into the pit. I'm down there. I cannot function. I am out of the world.
And this is a Germanic thing, right? I remember you mentioned that.
Yes. English inherited this from its Germanic roots, using direction to change a verb's meaning. Languages like Korean or Japanese don't use direction this way. In Korean, jichoso just means I'm exhausted, no sense of falling somewhere. That's why in feels so specific and powerful in English, and why it's hard to guess if you're not a Germanic language speaker.
So it's not just about knowing the word, it's about feeling the direction.
Exactly. You feel the pit. Okay, let's see all 6 expressions.
Hey, quick pause. If you're enjoying this, hit subscribe. It really helps us keep making these.
And leave a comment. We read every single one.
All right, let's start mild. Tired me out.
Notice, this one uses out, not in. Out has a completely different image. Think of your body like a cup. Tired me out. Someone tilted the cup and the energy poured out. It's gone, but you're still standing.
Still above ground.
Still above ground. Still functioning. Those kids tired me out. You're drained, but you can still make dinner. You're at the very edge of the pit, but your feet are on solid ground.
Mildest one. Left side of the spectrum. Wore me out. What's the image here?
Your favorite shirt after wearing it every day for a year. What happens?
It gets thin. The fabric breaks down.
That's it. Wore me out is friction over time, not one big hit, the slow grinding day after day, rubbing you down until you start to fall apart. The ground under your feet is crumbling.
That commute wore me out. 3 years of it, every single day.
Or that client wore me out. Not one meeting, months of difficult interactions. You're not just empty, you're worn down, visibly, and the pit edge is getting very close. Now, wiped me out, like wiping a surface completely clean.
Everything that was there, gone. Removed.
Right. Your body is the cup. Someone pulled all your energy out with a straw. Nothing left. The surface is blank. You're right at the edge of the pit, 1 foot over. But, and this is the key difference, wiped me out is about the energy disappearing. Did me in is about you disappearing into the pit.
Oh, wiped me out, the energy left. Did me in, I left.
That's the distinction. Hold on to that.
The main event. Did me in.
You fell in. You're at the bottom. The world is up there. People walking, functioning, living. You cannot get up. You are out of the world.
And do is a light verb. It's almost empty on its own, so in does all the work.
Exactly. Linguists call do, make, take, have light verbs. They carry almost no meaning of their own. They just pass the power to whatever comes next. So in did me in is the boss. Pure pit energy. No other meaning competing.
And it works for everything. That last hill did me in. The heat did me in. That meeting did me in. That IKEA screw did me in.
Very specific. And it always feels passive, like the world did it to you. You didn't choose the pit. Something pushed you.
Which makes it the perfect complaining expression.
The best. And don't forget, did someone in can also mean to kill. Same image, different depth of pit. Permanent.
Same pit, just no ladder. Past did me in, destroyed me, and killed me.
The pit wasn't enough. The whole ground exploded. You are the rubble.
That exam destroyed me. You're not in the pit, you are the pit.
Gen Z uses these constantly, and here's what's interesting. Killed me works in both directions. So exhausted, it killed me. Or so funny, so beautiful, so moving, it killed me. Context tells you which.
Positive pit and negative pit.
Exactly. That lesson destroyed me. David, are you saying this right now?
In the best possible way.
Bonus section. 3 adjective forms. You describe yourself, not what pushed you.
So instead of that did me in, you say I am.
Drained. The phone at 0%. Battery dead. Neutral and factual. No drama. Works in a work email. Totally fine.
Wrecked. Much more physical. The damage is visible. Dark circles, aching muscles. A wreck you can see.
And exhausted. The most formal. From Latin, ex, meaning out, and harir, meaning to draw water. A well drawn, completely dry. No water left.
Even the Latin has the out direction. The water was drawn out.
Right, because it's Latin, not Germanic. So exhausted is depletion without the falling. That's why it sounds more neutral and formal, safe for any context.
So drained means battery dead. Wrecked means visibly broken. Exhausted means well run dry. Did me in means in the pit.
1 picture, 6 expressions, all connected.
Quiz. I describe a situation. You tell me how deep in the pit.
Ready.
Number 1. Marathon. You cross the finish line and collapse. Can't move. Looking up at the sky.
That marathon did me in. Deep in the pit. Can't even see the top.
Number 2. Difficult manager for 2 years. Constant criticism, long hours, every day.
That job wore me out. Not in yet, but the ground is crumbling. The friction has been going on so long.
Number 3. Afternoon with energetic little cousins. Tired, but fine. Can still eat dinner.
The kids tired me out. Edge of the pit. Still above ground. Still a person.
Number 4. All-nighter. 6 a.m. Might be hallucinating. Face visible damage.
I'm wrecked. You can see it. The damage is showing.
Bonus. Gen Z watches a video so funny they fall off their chair.
That video killed me. Pit, but from joy. Positive pit.
Same pit, different reason for falling. That is the picture.
Let's see the whole map. Surface to bottom.
Surface. Tired me out. Energy drained away. Still above ground. Cup is empty, but you're standing.
Wore me out. Ground crumbling. Friction over time. Getting close.
Wiped me out. 1 foot over the edge. Energy completely gone. Almost in.
Did me in. In the pit. The world is above you. That word in does everything because do hands all its power to the direction.
Destroyed me, killed me, past the pit. The ground collapsed. Hyperbolic, dramatic, very Gen Z.
And the adjective forms, drained, wrecked, exhausted, are ways to describe being in the pit without pointing to what pushed you.
And this is why it matters for learners, especially from Korean, Japanese, Chinese backgrounds. You can know every word and still not feel did me in because your language doesn't use direction this way. The pit gives you the feeling, not a translation, not a definition, a feeling.
That's the Psalm C Studio way.
Homework. Tell us in the comments, what did you in this week? What pushed you into the pit?
For example, my commute did me in today. Or 3 exams in 1 week wiped me out completely.
Challenge mode. Use 2 expressions in 1 sentence. The heat wore me out all day, but that last hill really did me in.
Double pit. We'll read every comment.
And if you can stay in the pit for a little while, rest. That's what it's for.
The pit is actually quite cozy once you accept it. Thank you so much for watching.
Like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye, everyone. Try not to fall in the pit.
And if you do, that really did me in.